All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. The name of the video is President Trump on Migrant Detention Center, Alligator Alcatraz. Apparently, he has gone down there to see what's going on here. Let's see where this goes, guys. All right, here we go.
Hello, everybody. The trip was nice, and the job they've done is fantastic. And this is what you need. And Ron worked beautifully with Christie and all of the people at Homeland Security, and got it done in how many days, Ron?
8 days. A new facility was up and running. So.
And is this a model going forward, Mr. President?
It can be. I mean, you don't always have land so beautiful and so secure. We have a lot of bodyguards and a lot of cops that are in the form of alligators. You don't have to pay them so much. But I wouldn't want to run through the Everglades for long.
Right,
keep
no.
people where they're supposed to be. This is a very important thing. We're setting records at the board. You know, we had no people come through last month. Zero, no people. But we're going to keep it that way. So Ron did great, and I want to thank him.
Yeah, guys, keep in mind, when he says no people have come through, it's almost exclusively illegal kind of border crossings. Obviously, the border is still, in fact, open. If you are legally allowed to be in the United States of America, you still have access to the border. I just want to go ahead and clarify that, because some people in the comments generally are like, yay, the border is closed, no one can come. It's not like that. It just means if you are not supposed to be here, you can't be here.
Well, look, we thank you, Mr. President. Thanks for your leadership. The border, you did that quicker than we knew you'd do it, but you did it so quick, which is
great. It was
great.
fast.
But Biden let in how many millions?
Too many.
And you got to take care of them. And so this is one example of state operating this. The feds are approving it, supporting it. We're also going to have 2,000 more at Camp Blanding, which is our National Guard site. And we're the only state in the country that mandates our state and locals, law enforcement, to cooperate with ICE. And it's made a huge difference. On any given day, Florida constitutes about 20% of all immigration arrests nationwide.
I can...
So the part...
Guys, I bet. What's going on here?
What I would just say is, don't let Florida be the only state. We've got very red states that should be doing this just as much as Florida's doing. That will increase their numbers. And then what happens is you'll have a lot of people that will deport on their own because they don't want to end up in an alligator Alcatraz or some of those other places. So I think this is a model, but we need other states to step up.
Yeah, guys, when it comes down to like Florida specifically, there's a gigantic quantity of individuals, most likely, okay, if you've been to Florida, that are not here legally, guys. Let's just be completely honest here. Take off, it may not be super politically correct in the context here, but that's Florida. I mean, that's just in fact Florida. So now listen, if you do have the ability to kind of self-deport, you still will have the ability to come back through legal channels. That's the best way to do it here, guys. Period.
I was going to ask you, would this be enticing for other states to come up with their own model?
They are doing it. We have Louisiana doing it big. Alabama's doing it. We have a lot of states. They seem to be red states and not too many blue states for whatever reason. It's
whatever reason,
the red states, Republican-run states are doing it. The blue states don't do very well at security and policing, unfortunately. What would you
No, so much crime.
say, Chris?
I would say that exactly right. The governor here has been fantastic in forming this partnership with the Department of Homeland Security. We were looking at different contracts with different vendors and thought, why not go straight to our governors and ask them to help us solve this problem? Florida was unique in what they presented to us, and I would ask every other governor to do the exact same thing. This is unique because we can hold individuals here, they can have their hearings, to get due process, and then immediately be flown back home to their home countries. And their home countries are welcoming them. They're setting up
Some of them.
loans for houses. They've got food assistance. They're helping to facilitate welcoming them home. I just got home from Panama, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras, and they're all excited about getting their individuals back home from the United States. So,
yeah, guys, I mean, I'll take her word for it, right? But the problem here is that there are definitely other places that are not specifically happy to be getting people back from the United States of America, and that specifically is Haiti, all right?
A lot of self-deporting. That's one thing I was actually surprised, but a lot of self-deporting.
Guys, I'm guessing their feed is terrible or something. It is a live feed.
I flew over the Everglades. We did a little circle. I said, let me see. That's a big piece of land. It took us 25 minutes to fly around. Is there potential for
enlargement or additional facilities out here?
There may be. I mean, I think what we're doing is, because this is an important part of Florida, we're using the existing footprint of this airport. So when you guys go over there, you'll see all the beds, the medical, the galley, everything is on the concrete. We're not using any of the other stuff. Now, as you'll see, there's a lot of concrete, so there very well may be. I know Secretary Noem and her team have said as soon as the president departs, we'll be open to start receiving folks. And so we'll see what the tempo is. We do have the 2,000 in Northeast Florida that will open very soon. So it is possible to do. One of the things I think that is exciting about this is we're offering up our National Guard and other folks in Florida to be deputized to be immigration judges. We're working with the Department of Justice for the approvals.
Really?
I'm sure Pam will approve. But then I'll have a National Guard judge advocate here. Someone has a notice to appear. Biden would tell them to come back in 3 years and appear. Now you'll be able to appear in like a day or two, so they're not going to be detained, hopefully, for all that long.
Okay.
We'll have people here in this facility
that can do
make,
this?
it's a bureaucracy. The president's got to deal with the bureaucracy. Now, that Supreme Court ruling was good because that's going to allow him to be able to exercise Article 2 the way founders intended, but you still have bureaucracy. So we want to cut through that so that we have an efficient operation between Florida and DHS to get the removal of these illegals done.
Yeah, guys, that's absolutely incredibly intelligent. We definitely need to have that system, not specifically the alligator Alcatraz thing. Guys, we'll talk later about that aspect of things. But if we're just talking about the paperwork part, where we can just get people processed to see if they actually qualify for asylum or not, or if they were just here for the sole purpose of economic migrancy and to send money back to their countries, guys, right? If they're here for asylum, as in they're like basically for the most part refugees, guys, listen, I'm down for that. I have no problem helping. Someone who's absolutely, at risk of losing their existence just because of who they are, or et cetera, et cetera. Right? I have no problem with that. But utilizing our country as some type of, piggy bank is a little bit wild to me, bro, personally. So if we do have the ability to process the individuals much faster, that's genius. And I think all of the states need to basically kind of get on board with that.
Are you prioritizing going after the worst of the worst, or are you now arresting anyone who is here?
We're doing the worst of the worst always first.
Yes.
And I think it's great government, what we've done. And nobody can ever forget what this group of people, Biden or whoever it was, because it probably wasn't even Biden. I don't think he knew what the hell he was doing. But Biden, whoever it was, what this group of people, a small group that circled the Resolute desk, what they did to this country. Think of it, all the time you have to waste doing this. It's an unforced error. We had nothing. We had no problem with this. There was never anything like.
Yeah, guys, their feet is bad. When does he start moving again? Hold on, guys.
So you're taking a look here at a live image from down there in Florida. We do want to apologize. The quality is as it's incoming to us here on our feeds. Remember, we are in the Everglades. This is the thick of the swamp out there in Florida. So obviously the signal is a little bad. Let's continue to listen in.
But the more I thought of it, the more I liked it, if you want to know the truth. And they were serious. They were actually crocodiles. They were crocodiles from Africa. They are a step beyond. But no, that was really meant as a joke, but a lot of people liked it. And a lot of people think we should do it, frankly.
The Senate, it appears, is about to vote on
I
your
hear
big,
we're
beautiful
doing
bill.
well, Ron. I hear we're doing well.
Are you confident this can get
I
done
don't
by
know.
the 4th of
Confident.
July?
What does confident mean when you're like, when you have one vote and you have 100 people going to vote? I think so. I think it's going to be the greatest bill ever passed. Even for you, as an example, tremendous amount of Homeland Security money. Oh, tremendous amount. It's going to keep the border secure because, we have them secure now, but we need to build more wall. I built almost 600 miles of wall. We need more wall. And all of that's covered in this bill. This bill is amazing for everybody. It's an amazing bill for Florida, too. Really great for Florida.
You've heard the concerns about the Medicaid cuts, though, Mr. President.
No, we're not going to be playing with Medicaid.
An estimated
Only waste,
11.8
fraud, and
million
abuse.
Americans could lose
Yeah,
their
the
coverage.
Democrats have it wrong.
Promise?
Yeah. Waste, fraud, and abuse. In fact, if you look at what's gone on, we've gone way back. We take care of Medicaid. We take care of Medicare. They will blow Medicare and Medicaid because they have no idea what they're doing. Just like they don't have any idea what they did on the border, they have no idea. Medicaid is in big trouble with the Democrats.
So you promise anyone who loses their health care coverage, that is because of waste, fraud, and abuse?
Waste, fraud, only waste, fraud, and abuse, which is what everybody wants.
President, Russia has about 50,000 troops stationed outside of Sumy in Ukraine. What will you do if Russia authorizes an offensive?
We'll see what happens. I'm watching it very closely.
Mr. President? About Prime Minister Netanyahu's visit next week, what are you hoping to get out of that? And do you think there'll be any progress?
It's going to be a very quick celebration. We had a great hit. It was a obliteration. Okay, now it turns out it was an obliteration. You know, they demean CNN mostly and the New York Times, fake New York Times. They demean these great soldiers. They went over there 17 hours flying, and they hit bullseye after bullseye after bullseye. It all blew up. Everybody saw it. Then they get back, and CNN said, well, they did okay, but maybe it wasn't. Let me tell you, it was beyond obliteration. Nobody can even get down there. The tunnels are busted. Everything fell into the well. It was a total and complete obliteration, and we should celebrate these heroes. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing them, Ron, we're bringing them to Florida or to the White House. I gave them their choice. I think they're going to take the White House.
Probably.
Yeah, right. They're going to the White House, bro. Yeah, this is obvious. I mean, CNN absolutely put their foot in their mouth, and you do pay attention to what they're saying now, kind of after they've released all this information that should have never really truthfully been released, right? Because these are early assessments of the actual battle damage. Yeah, their responses right now are, we're sorry, forgive us type of thing, don't sue us.
President, there's going to be a new bill called Make American Elections Great Again.
I love it.
Forcing the U.S. Census Bureau to redo the census to actually get an account of how many Americans with proof of citizenship are in our area, in our country, redistricting some of the House districts. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll speak for both of us. We love it. Okay, you're going to like this one. I know all about it. We want to bring our elections back. The election in 2020 was rigged, millions and millions of votes. It had to do with COVID and a lot of things, but it really had to do with their crooked people. The Democrats are very good at cheating on elections. And that's why I said too big to rig. They tried this one too. But after about 9:02, they gave up too many votes. You know, too big to rig. Ron would love it. I would love it. Christie would love it. That's what they have to do. They have to bring it back. And we have to look, you know, Ron, they include anybody that happens to be in your state.
Well, California would lose like 5 seats if they did a fair census. And even beyond that, the Biden census gypped Florida of at least 1 seat. We only got 1 seat in the last census. Are you trying to tell me that Florida only had 1 seat in that? We should have had at least 2. Texas should have had another one.
Right.
That could be the difference.
Yeah, bro, because everyone, for the most part, started running from all of these like liberal strongholds and immediately heading down to places that, had less income tax. Now, guys, I have another issue with the whole concept of no income tax, so we'll get into that after we're done.
In the House of Representatives, in the majority. So I would love for them to redo the census for 26. My legislature will redistrict those lines. We'll get it to where it's fair. But as it's right now, this country is not fairly apportioned. I've got so many more millions of people in Florida that have representation because of that flawed census.
Mr. President, I think it's going to do very well. A lot of people, I don't know if you've heard about it, it's captivated the country. Everybody wants it. It's going to get in, it's going to pass, and we're going to be very happy.
Elon Musk is ripping into this bill again. Are you concerned that Republicans are going to be swayed by Musk and his money?
No, I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is Doge is going to look at Musk. And if Doge looks at Musk, we're going to save a fortune. Thank you very much, everybody.
Wow, okay, well, there we go. We got a response, from Trump in regards to Musk. Interesting, guys. That beef was a wild one. But let's get back to the story here, guys. When it comes down to like no income tax, I love the idea of places offering that, but it would be great if other things didn't come from it. So what I mean by that is, whenever you do enter into a place that has no income tax, you then start to kind of immediately realize that, oh, everything is an HOA, and why would things be HOAs? You might ask, right? It's because the county, the state itself, doesn't really want to pay for the streets or any of the landscaping or any of the other things, right? So instead of getting no income tax, amazing. But now you're paying an HOA fee. And sometimes these HOA fees could easily be up to, half or slightly or even more than your mortgage in some places. Texas specifically has a lot of other like bloat level taxes, like school tax and all these other nonsense taxes that get put in. Because the reason why I know about Texas is because I was looking at purchasing some property there when I realized how the market was out there, specifically, not to live there, but to specifically purchase property there, because there was like a bulk deal that doesn't matter, it's not important in this context. But it was definitely very intriguing until I started getting some more information kind of about how their tax system works, and I was just like, no. So yeah, no income tax, but everything else kind of equals, to it or more, right? So I'm not a fan of that. The concept of just chasing a place because it has no income tax, make sure you're paying attention to all the other bloat taxes that you end up having to pay, and then equate that to what you would have been paying for income tax. Okay, pay attention to that. Secondly, the concept of alligators being used, guys, that's a wild one. It almost feels like something out of a movie, to be honest, right? It feels like we're encountering something out of a movie, but this is Trump, and Trump is generally over the top with some of the things that he does and kind of promotes, right? And obviously some of the people who, Trump surrounds himself with, let's say, they tend to kind of attempt to emulate, Trump's ability to grab attention. Alligator Alcatraz is a crazy name. I have no idea how that's going to work internationally, let's say. But if it works and keeps people from escaping, specifically back into the country, then it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. We need some assistance immediately. And the alligators are not going to, how do you explain this here? You can't jail an alligator for being mean to the person that's escaping. Okay, and I'm guessing that's most likely the reason why the alligators are the prison guards out there, guys, right? But I do see that CNN is definitely going to have some major issues coming forward here. We did have some recent information kind of come out here that they may actually be prosecuted for aiding the individuals, basically, by sharing information, by promoting the application that gives you the ability to track ICE. There's a lot happening right now with the news cycle, and it's definitely intriguing. But if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what I should be checking out next, guys. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys later. All right.